Microcasting for your city. Talkapolis.
Bandwidth for today's show is brought to you by SoftLayer.com. We love SoftLayer here at Talkapolis. They are the greatest hosting company ever. They make everything easy. Check out their website at SoftLayer.com. Thanks again for sponsoring the show. Also by Nashville Violins, the string player's #1 choice for their string instrument needs. Nashville Violins offers everything from lessons to repairs. Make sure you check them out at NashvilleViolin.com.
You're watching Emerging Artists. Our guest today, Jimmy Bowen. Hi everyone, I'm Greta Gaines. Welcome to Talkapolis and welcome to the show. Our guest today is the one and only Jimmy Bowen. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so you are a really well-known bluegrass player, and I know you're moving in different directions from that potentially now, but take us back to the beginning of music and to your Marine years.
Well, I went to the Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina, graduated in '85, and they sent me to Quantico, Virginia. I had a band then and was playing, and used to go AWOL a lot to go play on the weekends. And then they sent me to Quantico, Virginia to train to go into second lieutenant in the Marine Corps. And did that, and then decided to get out and wanted to keep playing. And so that's kind of where I kind of left the Marine Corps behind,
yeah.
so to speak.
So, but did you play with any other players in the Marine Corps, or was it kind of you?
No, it's just me. Yeah, that's
yeah.
day job. I just kind of did my thing at nights and weekends.
Is that when you started getting some tattoos?
No, actually I started getting the tattoos a few years back.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get into that because my wife and I, we bought a couple motorcycles, and pretty much after my kids got grown, then we kind of regressed as my
I like
oldest
that
kids.
empty nester approach.
Pretty much.
We're going to get a couple soft tails, some tattoos, and see the world.
Yeah, exactly. See the world. And we start riding bikes and stuff, so it's kind of cool.
Well, you have an amazing tan. Is that from riding your motorcycle?
Well, motorcycle, hanging outside,
yeah.
and just the pigment from my heritage in the past.
Your heritage,
so,
you were telling me that you're part Native American.
Yeah, part Native American. My father was, and my wife's Native American, and from the Lumbee tribe in North Carolina. And her mother is, and my father was. And
wow.
Her father was white, and my mother was white. And so, yeah, so I guess it's a combination of like being outside and the pigment, so to speak.
Do you think that there was a musical tradition that comes down through your lineage?
I think so. There was a lot of, I had actually a lot of family members that were musicians, piano players, guitar players, and actually my father and his brothers used to play a lot, and then they quit, and then when I came along and started playing, then he kind of picked it back up. And as a child, he and I used to have bands together and used to play the bars. I started playing bars when I was 9. And
playing guitar?
Playing guitar and playing in his band, and then I'd have to go outside because a minor couldn't be around alcohol, so
right.
I'd have to
go outside.
I bet
you saw a lot in the bars at 9.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Great education.
Oh yeah, it was.
On what not to do, maybe, and
pretty much. Yeah, not how to act when you go to a bar. So, but had a lot of fun though. Had a lot of fun. Got to play Rocky Top a lot. Then,
oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's a big favorite. This album, you're working on some new material now, but this album that was out a couple years ago, it's called Single Down in San Antone, Jimmy Bowen in Santa Fe.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. Can we listen to a little of it?
Sure.
Okay, we've got a track on here. It's called Call It Love. Let's check it out. Jimmy Bowen.
I feel you tremble when I hold you tight. We burn like fire in the heat of the night. If it's what you want, let's call it love. If I didn't have money, would you want me still? Would you look real close? Do we fit the bill? Call it what you want, but only time will tell.
Nice. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us about the Country Gentleman and playing at the White House.
The White House was a treat. I started with the Country Gentleman back in 1987, and actually I was after them for a job for years to that, calling once a month and doing the thing of begging for a job. Is anybody leaving? I want to be a member of the band. And so I got with them, and which is a legendary bluegrass band in the bluegrass field. Ricky Skaggs was a member of the band as a fiddle player for many years. Jerry Douglas, a well-known dobro player, plays with Alison Krauss now, was a member of the band. And then we got to play for George Bush Sr. on the Easter weekend. They have a big Easter thing there at the White House.
This was in the 80s then?
This was in the 80s. Yeah. And I don't know if it's still going on there, but I know Bush was, President Bush was really involved with that, a big Easter egg hunt. You had to be especially invited to go. I mean, they had kids there, and it was really cool because the Bugs Bunny was a Secret Service agent, and it was kind of neat.
Not his favorite part of the job.
Yeah, I'm sure they dreaded
or maybe
Easter.
It was.
Yeah, I'm sure they dreaded Easter weekend, so they got to dress up, you know. But that was a lot of fun to play at the White House and play for President Bush, and it's just a thrill to even go there. A lot of people don't get a chance to go beyond the gate.
Of course, yeah.
And, so
Very
we
few.
got to go in and not necessarily politic, but we got to kind of hobnob a little bit with some of the politicians and Congress, and it was a lot of fun.
Good, well, that's cool. I keep sending in $13 hoping that I'm going to win a dinner with Jay-Z and Beyonce at the White House. Hasn't happened.
It hadn't happened yet.
Okay. Time. Tick-tock.
Keep trying.
Let's talk about new musical directions and what's up for you with the new CD.
Well, I am just, I love the bluegrass industry. I love the music itself, and I want to do a different venture. I want to expand and kind of keep my root there, but I also want to add. I'm the type when I go in the studio that if I hear a horn section on a particular song, it could be just on one song, then I want to bring in a horn section to do that.
You want to have the full breadth of possibility for what you hear in your head.
Exactly, the creativity of it. Yeah. And I have some guys that come in that do the album sometimes when I have to have say a fiddle player. I have a fiddle player now, but prior to that, I'd have a fiddle player and he said, "What do you want me to do?" I don't care. You're the fiddle player. Yeah. Listen to it. You be creative. You do what you feel that you need to do.
You kind of write your own part.
And you write your own part. Yeah. Here's the song. You do your thing.
That's cool. A lot of musicians are not like that when it comes to other musicians.
To me, it's the creative part on that person's instrument. I've had band members that have come in and said, "Man, I can't do the guitar part like your last guy. I don't want you to do it like the last guy. I want to do it like you. Yeah. I want you to be creative with what we do." Right. Because we're mostly a vocal band. So the instrumentation is not as in the forefront as
the vocals. Do a lot of three-part harmonies.
The 3 or 4-part harmony, and that's why I'm excited about this record here. I have the capability now of having 8-part harmony with the band because everybody in the band sings, from the drummer to the steel player to everybody, and so we're working on that to ad-lib and just get parts. We're kind of like the old band. America is kind of like, well, what part do you sing? Well, whatever he doesn't sing. And, I don't know if it's a baritone, high tenor, low tenor. I don't know. I just get whatever is not there.
I just love harmonies. Good harmonies are like good eating.
Yeah, exactly.
What about this festival that's coming up? Is there something in Lebanon in 2013? Is there some big...
Yeah, there's a festival that we're going to put on. I was going to do it actually a couple years ago and got sidetracked. And what we want to do is basically have it such as like an Americana festival. Yeah. But it's going to be just basically American music. And I want to have some acoustic bands there. I want to have some electric, if you want to call it electric rock, what have you. Just
good music.
Good music at the fairgrounds there at the AG Agricultural Center there in Lebanon. It's where they have the big Wilson County Fair, which brings in a lot of people, 400,000, 500,000 people a year, and very large fairground, and that's what we're shooting for next. I think it's next September. Yeah, is what we're working on. So, fun. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Are the kids getting into bluegrass? Are there new fans?
A lot of the kids are getting into bluegrass. There's a lot of actually this week is the International Bluegrass Music Association conference and award show.
Open to the public?
It's open to the public, of course. I mean, there's ticket sales and things, but yeah, it's open. It's at the Renaissance Hotel Convention Center. Thursday night they have the award show at the Ryman, and where they give out the male vocalist and entertainer of the year, things just like the CMA does. And it's a little bit, there's more awards there than there is at the Americana Awards, but there's a big award show, a lot of music happening, a lot of conferences going on, how they push bluegrass into television, how they push it more into schools, and there's a lot of young people people getting involved with it. It's different than what it was when 25 years ago when I got started at it on a financial side.
But, well, don't you hear the influence in some more mainstream bands? Like I hear the influence of bluegrass in Mumford and Sons, for instance.
So there's a lot of it.
Yeah,
there's a lot, and that's the thing that you fight. Now, me personally, that's what I fight with the bluegrass. Business is because I'm not traditional enough. And even when you go back, even with the bands, it doesn't matter what genre of music to me that you listen to, they were all doing their thing. And well, now you would consider Journey traditional rock, but they call it classic rock now. And in bluegrass, they just say traditional. Well, you're not traditional enough.
I mean, describe to us what an exact traditional bluegrass lineup would be like. Banjo.
Banjo, guitar, mandolin,
fiddle,
and an upright bass.
Exactly.
No electric.
No electric.
No electric.
And no drums. But you were telling me
drums.
Bill Monroe had a drummer.
Bill Monroe had a drummer. Jimmy Martin had a drummer.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't have the full-blown like Motley Crue would have, but I mean, they would have a snare, a kick, and a hi-hat, just to kind of keep the rhythm going.
Right.
And but there's a couple of bands that I understand now that are experimenting with that have been in the business. One of the gentlemen that's getting inducted into the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame, Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. Doyle is, from my understanding, is carrying a drummer now, but Doyle's been in it for 35, 40 years, and
so when the establishment
he's kind of got the clout to
add the drummer.
I'm gonna add the drummer now. And Bill Monroe kind of did the same thing. Jimmy Martin did the same thing, but they were all kind of rebels in their era. But now it's if you're a rebel, they don't want you to. I don't know. It just seems like now that they don't want the rebels. They don't want you to push the button. They don't want you to be different. And I'm going to be different. I think music needs to be different. That's what makes music music. I mean, that in any genre that you listen to. Yeah. I mean, Jimi Hendrix didn't sound like anybody else,
right.
and
need that growth.
Stevie Ray Vaughan didn't sound like any blues player you ever heard.
Yep.
He had his own thing. And
started with the tradition and then made it.
And
his
then
own.
made it your own, and that's what I'm involving to do.
Good.
And want to do.
Right. So when can we look for the new work? Do you know
the
when?
new work? Actually, I have a new bluegrass album coming out, and just to appease some people, and I say that politely, and but we're gonna actually, hopefully, by the mid-summer next year, have another of my albums that I want to throw out there and see what happens.
Acting? You've done some acting?
Yes, done some acting. Actually, my manager, Barry McLeod, got me into that. He actually asked me one day that had I ever thought about it. And I said, well, I thought about it, but never really thought about it, doing it. And he actually said that my look with the beard and the hair, and he said, you've kind of got this little jerk attitude about you. And I said,
oh, really?
Okay.
That's a nice thing for your manager to say.
And I said, well, as long as he gets me a paycheck,
I'll be as jerky as you want.
I'll take that as a compliment. So actually, he got me involved, and we did a show called Outlaw Country that was filmed here in Nashville, and a lot of fun. Got to work with Adam Arkin. Adam Arkin, excuse me. Alan was his father, who was a big movie producer out in L.A. And Adam was on Chicago Hope, and he does a lot of doctor. He's got that doctor look. Yeah.
And, so he had the doctor and the jerk.
Yeah, pretty much. So I got cast as a henchman. Me and four other guys as a biker type gang that protected. It was kind of like based on a kind of a Godfather thing mixed in with music. Mary Steve Spurgeon, who's Ted Danson's wife, played Annette, who is the musical icon in Nashville, and she's trying to keep her daughter from kind of getting into the business, but her daughter's mixed in with the kind of the mafia in Nashville, and we're part of the mafia. We're to protect the guys in the mafia, and it was a lot of fun. The first night we got to shoot. We were in White Bluff. It was all night shooting. We got to shoot a trucker in the head. It was kind of cool.
Oh, that is
fun.
It
was a lot of fun.
A little different.
It was different. Massively
take out
different.
Some of that angst that's built
take out
from
the
years
anger.
of people thinking perhaps you're not traditional enough.
Yeah, exactly. Drive a trucker out and shoot him in the head with a 38 caliber gun, you know. But it was a lot of fun. It was aired the 24th of August on FX.
Neat.
And we're waiting to see if it becomes a series. We hope
Wow.
that it
So
will.
you're up for more acting if that comes your way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But for now, music is keeping you.
Music, acting, I stay busy.
Yeah.
So, and I've also got a publishing company and enlisted as a writer with ASCAP. So
Terrific.
So I'm kind of dabbling with that too. So
Yeah. Well,
stay
Jimmy
busy.
Bowen, it's been great having you
Well,
here
thank you.
at
It's
Emerging
been a pleasure.
Artists.
Been a pleasure.
And
Thank
I
you.
hope you'll come back and see us when the new album's out.
Be glad to.
Or let us know when the show is premiering. We'll have a little watching party because that sounds really fun, that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm Greta Gaines right here at Talkapolis. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Microcasting for your city, Talkapolis.